Chicken.
So, hello everybody. You stop that. So, hello everybody, and welcome back to Let's Roleplay. I'm your host, Duhad, also your GM, because we're going to be wrapping up Rag-a-Muffins. Once again, you might notice some slight differences in the way that this episode is presented. That is because we are continuing to record while my computer is in the repair shop. Hopefully by next week, God, I hope by next week we'll be back to normal. But for now, we're going to try and wrap up Rag-a-Muffins, or put in a goddamn best effort possible to do so, and try to finish this game. So in order to make room for the upcoming Star Wars game and Major 3. And so without further ado, I will quickly introduce our players, starting with Belial.
Hi.
I don't have anyone's character sheets or anything, so you're going to have to remind me of your characters.
Kaufman.
As Kaufman, the robot with a heart of gold. We have Morath as Red.
Red, yeah.
Yes, who is the driver and
The girlfriend of a Nazi.
No, they're not Nazis. God damn it. We
Fake
have
North Korea. Okay.
we have DeFrog, who is playing as
A Matryoshka doll of a character.
yes, as a robot. As a human secret agent inside of a robot inside of a Shamarin.
Yep. I'm like an onion. I got layers.
What are the names of your various characters?
Okay, so human secret agent Gestalt. You have only heard the name Oscar so far. The AI core that is running the human secret agent Gestalt is named Atix, and the poor bird whose brain they're all in is Raphael Cavador.
Of course. And finally, last but most certainly not least, it is Winter. And he is playing a scab whose name is Lucretia. And when last we left our valiant... some of you are heroes.
Yeah.
They were floating outside just outside of like a system nearby, the one containing the space station that they all initially invaded, kicking this whole thing off. The station has been slowly being rebuilt by the Typhoon mercenaries, who had originally been guarding it. And according to Jester, their contact with an Atlas, it is now it is currently housing the individual whose murder had been pinned on them, who is secretly alive and looking to defect to Atlas from Norsco. In order to clear their names, with Norsco, they would have to deliver him alive to Norsco and to show they didn't actually kill him and to reveal the whole plot. To get him good with Atlas, they would have to deliver him to Atlas in order to make Rose's wife very, very happy. Sorry, no, Rose is the wife. In order to make Red's wife, Rosemary, what was her name?
Primrose.
Primrose very happy, and also to get them in good with Jester in order to progress the story in that direction. Alternatively, they can fuck off and die. So, I probably wouldn't go with that option myself, but, right now, the people who are kind of probably in the pro-delivering them back to Norsco camp would be like the actual Shamarin, Raph. Everyone just put your name in the thing. It'll help me remember. I have no memory. Like Raph and Kaufman, the former Atlas robot, and probably Lucretia. I don't actually know what Lucretia's personal stand is, but I'd assume it'd probably be more...
It's more aligned with
Norse than Atlas, yeah. However, Cole and Red are probably significantly more interested in getting this fella back to, Atlas, since that's the only way that they're A, going to be able to accomplish their assigned mission, and B, get back to their lovely, lovely wife. So... we're at something of an impasse, though. As of right now, the only people who are aware of that are Oscar and Red.
True. You also may be misreading Oscar.
Oh, possibly. I might also...
His first loyalty is to the Federation.
That's true. To be fair, like the reason he might be interested in helping Atlas would be because Atlas is the only group that seems to be actively working to deal with this oncoming threat where Norsco may or may not actually be aiding and abetting them, though of course that might just be a reason to work with Norsco in order to get in closer, but who knows? You don't know. Maybe.
Yes. Well, I know.
Well, you know. Yeah, you know you don't know what Norsco's deal is, or for that matter, what Atlas's position actually is, since all you had to go on is a spy master, and those people are not exactly well known for being upfront and trustworthy.
Huzzah.
Makes sense. You can trust them to screw you.
True. But yes, so we pick up again, as I said, where we left off with them floating in space, planning out their attack. They have spent, I believe, a couple of days. They spent like 2 days of the 5 days that they had to spare before he was going to be moved. Resting because a lot of them were very, very badly injured.
I am now not in next.
I was fixing my car.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
somebody decided to fuck it up.
Yeah, so I think
made it beautiful.
you recovered a couple of hit points,
yeah.
Winter. Okay, good. Yeah, so Lucretia's no longer on her deathbed; she's just deathly ill.
Oh, I have a flashback to the last time we did a game similar to this, and my character was just above negatives. They died.
Yeah, let's see if someone dies this time, but we'll find out. So yeah, so as I said, we are currently floating.
Was it some kind of Swedish singer?
No, this was the
yeah.
bird.
So you guys meet in the conference room in order to discuss your plan. Everyone has arrived there. Your various sidekicks are kind of there, but sort of off to the side because they know that right now it's the boss's time to make this decision. They're just going to be able to sit around,
including Zombie Cam,
including Zombie Cam, who is spent this entire time in a coma.
Oh god.
Oh no, the
that
cat
space
flu got
is
worse.
really a killer.
There's an infection in one of her cat. Oh god. Anyway, yeah. So everyone's kind of sitting around the conference room waiting to hear what you got to say.
As far as I can see it, the plan hasn't changed. We go in, make the grab, and get out as fast as possible.
Sounds like a normal plan.
I mean,
Well, at least the getting out as fast as possible bit.
It's a concept anyway. Do we have any further intel developed on the station?
That you have basically what you had before, and you have discovered that the oh Lord, hold on a second. Yeah. So what you know so far is that the station, after you guys kind of blew the hell out of it, has been recovering. Unfortunately, this means that security has been increased, but that security is mostly stationed around the areas of the ship that have been the station that have been blown up, which are not necessarily the parts that you need to get in on. The trouble you do have to account for is the fact that, again, because there's already been one attack, they are overall more wary than they were, and they have seen your ship before. I think you guys might have bought off the.
Yeah.
Did you guys?
At this point, they have not seen the ship the way it is now.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the thing is,
redesigned it. Yeah.
they will have there'll be a chance they might still be able to recognize it just because you haven't fundamentally changed the entirety of the ship or obviously yourselves. But there's going to be a much smaller chance of it, which is good. Like if you had the recognizable ship, still they would instantly recognize you.
Yeah.
But yeah, so you know that the primary areas of the ship that you'd be going through have not been affected. It's still the part that still is just a service area is still a service area. The internal bits leading to the barracks are still basically an internal bit leading to the barracks. The location of the individual you were supposed to find has been made clear to you. He is staying in a private room near the barracks, but not in the barracks itself. Essentially, it's a luxury suite. like the you don't know a lot about the defenses leading up to it. Like you were given like basic lowdown on what they were supposed to do, like the orders from Atlas on how they're supposed to protect this guy, but they weren't very clear on like if those details have been changed in lieu of the attack because they don't know what Typhoon has taken taken upon itself to do to recover from that whole incident.
Being fair, we blew up the place before they got their hands on this guy.
Yes, that is true. But like the thing is, they like Atlas gave them directions on how they wanted like the level of defense that they wanted this guy to have in general.
Mm-hmm.
But you don't know whether or not they would have like doubled up or possibly like reduced that in order to compensate for the damages.
What were Atlas's guidelines on his personal protection?
They wanted at least 2 guards protecting him at all times, either stationed outside of his room or escorting him.
Mm-hmm.
And they wanted his location, again, his luxury suite, to be close enough to the barracks that if trouble started, they would be able to get to him as quickly as possible. They also left instructions that, push came to shove, they would rather he, die in such a way that he would not be recognizable so as to avoid a, interplanetary incident rather than have him escape and, confess to everything.
Right, which means that the guard is probably going to be decently well armed.
Yes.
Because if you want to smear a corpse into something unrecognizable, high caliber is better.
Yeah. No, on the other hand, you do also know that Typhoon is not exactly the most like high-end mercenary group ever, so they probably don't have a bunch of people wearing like power armor and carrying around like Gatling guns. They're a mercenary group. They're reasonably well off, but they're not. They don't have all the money in the world, and it's not like you're going up against the Burlesque Brothers.
Oh, that would be
Thankfully.
horrible.
Speaking of the Burlesque Brothers, a ship was arriving.
Oh god.
That's what happens if you guys fuck up too hard and really get Norse or Atlas pissed at you.
Oh boy.
Lovely. Okay.
Assassin.
So our covert extraction specialist is in a coma, which is going to curtail our ability to do this quiet.
Yes.
Yeah. And I'm not in great condition, but I can like grab him and run if needed.
All right. So we've got a baseline of 2 guards on him, possibly more, possibly less, depending on how Typhoon is thinking about things. If he is to be caught, they want him destroyed beyond recognition. So, whatever guards that we have on him, we're going to have to kill him fast.
Yes. If they're not taken care of quickly, they will. Yeah. If they're not taken care of quickly, they will, probably at the very least lob a grenade into his room.
That would not be good.
So we've got a couple of ways we can go on this, as I see it. We can try and create another diversion to draw away as much of the QRF stationed at the barracks right here as possible, and then sneak another team in behind to go ahead and try and snatch and grab him. We can also try and go full force on it and hope that our ability will let us go ahead and roll over whatever guard duty they have on him and get out before they can respond.
I disagree with this second plan.
Go ahead, Kaufman. What are your thoughts?
As the smartest person on the ship, I would suggest reducing the number of casualties to a bare minimum.
There is a general round of shrugging from the
from your mercenaries.
Yeah.
I'm not looking to turn this into a bloodbath, but it may very well be possible that we'll have to eliminate targets on the way in and out. Like you said, bare minimum. And minimum is going to be defined by accomplishing mission objectives.
Any casualties that you do cause, please do not tell me of them.
We will
The good
avoid
old
doing
paladin.
so.
My, what fine yet rustic architecture. I think I shall examine it more closely. Very well, so we can't use Kaufman on the assault squad.
I'm up and ready
Kaufman,
enough
do
to
I
assault.
take that to be an endorsement for a diversion?
Yes.
Okay. Other thoughts?
I can definitely be on.
Injury does
assault
not
for
mean
sure.
death.
That is fair.
The crew is kind of like shrugging. Though one of the people who kind of works in the usually like hangs out around the ship's systems, kind of like asks if we cause this sort of big a distraction, go in, get them out. Even if we do it quickly, there's a good chance they're going to come after us. They still have at least 2 ships in the hangar from last time we saw, and that's assuming Typhoon didn't manage to get their hands on anything else between now and then.
Question:
Getting
do we
us
have the
true.
components for an EMP grenade of some, or EMP of some kind?
We do, in fact, have EMP grenades in inventory.
That is true. That is
Good.
true.
Lob them at a ship that comes after it.
That might be difficult to do in space, but if we could take care of them before we leave, it would be an additional risk. But if we could disable their ships in hangar, that would give us time to escape. And with the stealth drive, we should be able to, as long as we can get out of here without people directly on our tail shooting us while we fire that thing up, we should be able to escape pretty easily.
Agreed. And you might just be getting a bonus.
He smiles.
And push comes to shove, we lose EMP grenades. I can cut wires. I know which ones to cut.
Last time you said something like that, we ended up with a brain dead support infiltration specialist.
But this time I'm trying to
uh,
cause destruction.
I'm aware that this is a matter of fact. However, brains are not the same electrical engineering as electrical engineering.
Like one of the people finds up, like one of the people who actually went on the infiltration mission. Hey, fuck, it's Bob. Bob suggests, well, it's not been that long since we went in there in the first place. Chances are they probably haven't fixed their wall yet. He looks at Red. If the team looking to cause a distraction and the team looking to disable the ships wanted to work together, a car driving straight through their base, through a big hole in their wall, and lobbing EMP grenades at their ships might do a pretty good job of that.
Oh.
You got people on mind to throw said grenades?
He looks over at Lucretia and Kaufman's as well. We have people who, want to stay away from the actual bloodshed, and people who want to help break those ships. So, either one of the, anyone who doesn't want to go with the actual, team looking to extract the target would probably be able to make themselves useful helping with that.
Which leaves me and a fire team to do the actual assault.
I'm probably
He
not the
shrugs and
greatest
says, "Well,
there. Yeah.
Yeah, he kind of looks around at the other two and is like, well, to be honest, Red's the best driver. Kaufman doesn't want to kill anyone, and Lucretia's pretty banged up, so I'm not sure if, the only person on the team who would be able to help you with the actual, extraction would probably be the woman in the coma.
No, I agree with you, Bernstein. Just not particularly happy about our disposition of forces.
He nods and looks upset. Like he and Zombie's character had been getting along very well until she slipped into a coma, and he's still not happy about that.
Yeah.
Man, cat AIDS is a killer.
Yeah.
On the other hand, it is what we have.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Looks like we might have to do another spaceborne insertion for the grab team. Well, we do an assault landing for the team that is going to be pulling our distraction and disabling of enemy ships.
He actually pauses for a second. Wait a minute, real quick. Does anyone here have any experience with throwing grenades? He looks at Kaufman. Last time, one of those things went off. One of those grenades that Linda, stole went off. It kind of almost destroyed Kaufman. Kind of be bad if there's an accident. An accident disabled the car as well, even.
At this point, I'm going to turn to Kaufman. Assuming that I do not execute anyone in cold blood, would you be willing to join the assault team?
Is there any way to arm everyone with stun weapons?
We don't have them in inventory.
The problem is Red would probably be the best person there with her side sleep, but she's kind of needed for the car.
Wait, can't you do mass sleep?
Yes, there is a mass sleep ability. Again, though, it's the sort of thing that would be useful on the person who isn't having to drive the car.
Yeah.
That's very fair. Shit.
I've thrown my fair share of grenades, but yeah.
What is the skill actually for grenades?
Demolition.
Well, Raph has that ability.
I have a skill of 1 demolition.
Well, I mean, at the very least, that prevents you from taking a penalty.
That's fair.
Lucretia has 2 in demo.
Now, how much is a lobbing grenade? It's hand-eye, right?
Yeah, hand-eye and demolitions.
Well, Kaufman, as sad as this may be, maybe the best for the job.
What is Kaufman's total bonus?
He has an 8 total bonus.
Lucretia has a 7.
I mean, it's
yeah.
And the one who
Lucretia
can't be
has
used for it has the 9.
God.
Jesus.
Well, and does Lucretia have demolition
No, being
skill?
fair,
Yes,
we should probably
she has
grab some of them
2
and put them on the
with
assault
5
team,
hand
too.
eye.
Okay, well, you two can throw grenades working as a team. Just don't fuck it up, or else you're going to end up with a dead car and an unconscious Kaufman.
Yeah, that would not be good.
So glad
Oh,
to
boy.
permanently kill robots.
Yeah, I like the idea of my car
forever. It's
still
just,
being alive.
Yeah, knocks them out. But yeah, no, if the car goes out, you guys are basically sitting ducks.
I'm
Yeah.
so glad that I'm so glad that soft serve has surge protected.
Yes, no, Saucer's actually safer than you in this.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Saucer actually, Python says, if anything happens to Kaufman, I will be there to ensure that he's returned to the ship safely for repairs.
You have 2 of these things in my car.
Yeah.
2?
Oh yeah. By the way,
also not to bring down the morale, but because Rafe would not say this out loud, but in his mind he's thinking, and if Kaufman is knocked out, we lose the primary AI to the ship.
Yes. Also, keep in mind, Red, soft serve is not 2. Keep in mind, your car was built with humans in mind. Kaufman is a tiny Chiron male-designed, bodied robot with a very small thing and an AI core tucked in his chest. Soft serve is a Chiron female-designed robot, a giant hulking behemoth with a fucking ice cream machine lodged in her chassis.
And Lucretia is also a pretty large lizard.
Partial.
Yeah.
It's only part of an ice cream machine, okay?
Yeah, true. But the thing is, basically what's going to probably happen with soft serve is that she's probably going to be less riding in the car and more hanging off the back of it, with her arms clamped to the sides.
Mm-hmm. Good thing she has.
Boy, that sounds a lot like the title image.
Yeah, very much so.
Oh God.
Oh no.
So it does.
Different crew members, but same image.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, so is this the team?
I
Yeah,
guess
the A
this
team
is the
or
thing.
the B team, I guess.
This is very much the B team, but like, this is the Mass Effect 2. We don't have the actual people we want for the jobs we want for the suicide mission, so we're gonna
You
have to
mean
make.
more like the Mass Effect Andromeda?
Oh,
Oh, ouch. We're throwing
Yeah.
that much shade on Rag? Damn.
oh man.
No.
I thought
I
you
meant
liked
as
this
in
system.
they have the D team working on the game.
Oh Lord, I was making more of a joke about the suicide mission because I think you're all gonna die, but
Oh
yeah,
God,
You know,
we're all
actually,
the Artful
not to
Man.
lie on that whole D team thing, that was actually the way that I got myself to actually start playing it again, by making Ryder into like the most shitbag looking dude, and being the whole thing that, okay, you must now shape up throughout the course of this story, even though there's no reason that you should have been made Pathfinder.
that's pretty good. But yeah, okay, so
It still doesn't work much.
oh, that game's a mess. But hey, no, it isn't a mess. Hopefully, this mission, let's do it.
Let's try.
Okay. So yeah, I'm going to bring along 2 of the subordinates with me,
I'm
because
gonna bring
otherwise
Saucer.
it's just me attacking.
All right, I'm assuming you're gonna bring along mercenaries, not infiltrators.
Yeah, I'm going to bring along the 2 laser rifles that we have as well. One of them for me, one of them for one of the boys.
Okay, the other one just gets to carry around a pistol.
Yeah, unfortunately, we didn't steal enough laser rifles.
That's fair. So yeah.
Actually,
okay.
wait a second. Do I have resources enough? No, I don't.
Yeah.
I would need 15 resources to outfit them all, I believe.
Yeah. It's 3 times the original amount, and that allows like all your people to basically have it in perpetuity.
Oh shit! No, then I could do it.
Oh well, unfortunately, you're not at a store.
Yeah.
You don't have a slot machine.
I just realized Coffin have the default health because I took Frail, even though the race. Oh no, wait, no, their race is not the thing. Never mind.
The robot doesn't.
I was thinking Chiron, and I was like, no, because I looked
Yeah.
at Soft Serve, who has Hardy only because of the race, and I'm like, oh. And then I forgot.
Yeah,
Totally bringing along some of the grenades, by the way.
Yeah.
It's fine though.
Yeah, the race thing used like that used to be a
Oh,
race
yeah.
thing. Yeah, when robot was a quality, not a race. But
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
No, it's all cool.
yeah. But yeah, okay. So I'm just finding the guns real fast so that I can prepare for your inevitable triumph.
I expect Lucretia to die in this mission just as much as I expected Shay to die on her last mission.
Well,
Oh, for the record, I'm going to be wearing, for the initial thing, the disguise that we used into Atlas.
Okay, makes sense. All right, so we're going to like, in order to prevent it from just being like, okay, one team's turn, do that for an hour, half an hour to an hour. Now the other person's turn. We're going to like make this kind of cinematic by cutting between the 2 events.
Hell yeah.
So we're going to start with the fly into Atlas while you're all still together, but like getting ready in the cargo bay. The assault team is putting on their spacesuits for this the space jump. The team going in the car is getting the car, like doing some last like repairs on the car, getting the bullet holes patched up and the burn marks buffered out.
One more thing that Raph would do, just because it is him. He's going to consult with Atix for her assessment.
Yeah, Atix, is like running through the numbers and.
no Son Goku.
Still Son Goku. And
That's shitty, huh?
No, actually, Atex. This is interesting. I got to think about this for a second because, as far as she's concerned, at this point, well, she is concerned. Like right now, most of the rest of the crew represent a possible threat to the mission. Like they're starting to get to the point where they're no longer necessarily as useful as they had been earlier. And so she's kind of at this point like running through, like not to you, but like running through in her own like systems, the risk rewards of essentially just advising you to take off without them, to like if they are not back in time, to just leave immediately and leave them to like essentially get like left behind and distract the Typhon security longer. buying you additional time to escape. And in doing so, like pragmatically letting like buying you time, but realistically actually like removing potential threats from your actual mission.
Does she actually go ahead and make that argument?
No, she's basically what she's doing right now is she's trying to like think through in her own head like whether or not like the rewards of doing that versus the risk would be worth risking you having like your second thoughts about her judgment based on morality or loyalty to your crew members. And she eventually decides against it. She's eventually like, no, you know what? There's a time. It's not this time. And so just says, the probability of this mission having a substantial and catastrophic failure is higher than is entirely comfortable. However, I do believe that, as long as you're willing to, play the situation as necessary and make difficult choices as necessary, we should have at least a 73% chance of succeeding. It is, however, of utmost importance that the subject be extracted properly, or else we will have burnt bridges with both Norseco and Atlas, resulting in a high probability of being murdered.
Yeah, I'd like to avoid that. You said 73% chance of success.
Yes. There is unfortunately
Casualty
also
projections?
43% chance of light casualties. However, there is only a 13% chance of total crew loss. It is probable we will lose a few members of the team. However, as long as we are willing to cut losses when necessary, we should be able to escape with minimal casualties. Possibly even no fatalities, merely high levels of injury.
When you cut your losses and half your crew is dying, see, the remaining are alive.
100% of remaining crew members are alive.
Okay. All right. Thanks, Ajax.
Mission a success.
He is going to go ahead and speak with both the person who is on ship systems and Bob, who are going to be staying on the ship.
All right.
If any of their ships come out of that bay and we haven't cleared it first by communication, you are to open fire.
You got it, boss. We're on it.
I want that bay fucking plugged.
Yes, sir. Bob heads over to one of the weapons racks and starts to power them up on low power.
Good man. All right. Cracks his feathery hands. Let's do this.
Okay, yeah. The as the ship starts,
they're not actually feathery hands; they're talons. Okay.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. The
feathery wrists.
Yeah. As the ship flies in, the assault team prepares for its jump. I want you guys to. I'm gonna have the team kind of all hooked together so that if at least one of you makes it, the others will not drift off into space forever.
Right. What is the appropriate skill for this?
We're gonna call this one a fuck. I need to remember my own goddamn rules. I believe.
Operations.
No. This is for them jumping. So I think that would be a like an acrobatics or a athletics or.
Can I use dodge for this?
Yeah, sure. Fuck it. Use dodge.
Actually, fuck it. Can I use my natural ability towards flight?
Yes,
that's actually a good idea.
Yeah. You know what? Actually, I'm gonna say that because you are a natural flyer, that you get a you're going to get a roll dodge and you're going to get a +6 to it.
Okay, cool. And this works off of agility?
Yes, yeah, this is agility based.
Okay.
So you should be fine. Should be.
All I have to do is not roll 2 1s.
Yeah, it should be fine.
Rolls 2 1s.
Performs the
It's the
ducks.
famous last words of a dead man.
Yeah.
Well, shit. That's
Oh my
not
God.
2 1s.
I was gonna say, like,
No, it was a 9 and a 7.
I
We're
see.
good.
That would have been great.
Okay, so yeah, so as
Does a
you,
backflip.
as you hurtle through space, you use your natural flying muscles and knowledge of aerodynamics to gently guide you down to the thing. And because you're hooked into your other two people, one of them actually makes it pretty easily. The other one kind of stumbles, but luckily, because he's hooked in with you, he manages to get his feet pretty quickly. And all three, quickly board the station.
I'm going to tap helmets to them so we're not actually broadcasting. Quickly and quietly, boys.
They nod and ready their weapons. Like the one readies his laser rifle, and the other one just pulls out a pistol and it's the whole like cocking thing.
Oh, poor guy.
There are advantages to pistols sometimes.
Yeah. You know what? There's yeah. So yeah, you guys roll me sneak plus agility as you enter the base.
Sneak plus agility.
I'm gonna roll for your men. I'm also gonna try and roll on a surface that isn't quite as fucking loud. It's my take.
Fair enough.
God. Oh God. "24. Okay, you are quiet as a mouse. Let's find out if your men can be just as sneaky."
They can't.
Yeah. Hint. Probably not. Oh boy.
Oh,
Okay, so apparently, learning from their past mistakes, Typhoon hired some fucking eagle-eyed motherfuckers to guard their station. So as you start sneaking in, like one of your guys is actually just causing a bit of a rumble, and you're like, oh jeez. But as you're like going in, even before he starts like bumblefucking his way through the stealthing thing, one of the you kind of see. So you just describe the scene real quick. You have landed in the main bay. Like you've landed in the place where where people would normally come in through. Though you kind of come in through the side. Unlike the bay where people are going to where the other team is going to be landing to try and fuck up the ships they have. This place is relatively lightly secured because it's kind of meant to be a commercial hub, albeit a very small one. But they have a couple of guards on patrol, and as you land, one of the guards who's near to the entranceway, picks up something, and turns and looks directly towards where you guys are hiding, and suddenly raises his rifle.
How much visual cover or any cover is there here?
There is half cover, and there's enough that you guys can kind of sneak around behind it. Like you can kind of keep yourselves low as long as you're crouching, but there's not like a lot of place where you can just go running around without.
Why not just go fully prone? There you go, completely covered. Sure, if they catch you, it's an extreme combat disadvantage.
But hey, it's
Yeah.
If they don't see you, they can't.
Okay. Thoughts. I'm likely the only one who can do any decent kind of sneaking at this point. They can't.
Yeah.
Only the one
fair
person
sus.
wasn't in a coma.
Yes, I know, right?
And luckily, these guys are basically the equivalent of rent-a-cops, so you're not exactly like in the worst position in the world. But unfortunately, obviously, like setting off the alarm too early could make it so that there's a very high chance of them being able to
Kill the guy, yeah.
Yeah, kill the guy before you get to him.
Okie dokie. Well, that being what it is. Make yourself small, boys. I'm flanking.
Yes, sir. And they crouch down low. The one guard signals to his buddy, and the two of them start walking towards your position. Guns raised, and the one lifts his fingers up to his ear, clearly calling in.
Damn. Why'd they have to get smart?
It was bound to happen eventually.
Eventually, yes. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna try and make my way around behind them using what cover I've got.
Okay. So roll me another sneak to try and like get behind them without them noticing.
That's a damn good sneak. 29.
All right. They do not seem to have noticed you. They are, however, still marching, walking towards your people, and they have, rifles, but they are not like super nice rifles. They look pretty bog standard, but they have raised them and are looking like they are about ready to start firing. And you are close enough now that you can hear one of them, like the one who originally seemed to have noticed you guys, calling in and saying.
Okay. So, first things first, I'm going to tell Atix to activate close combat weaponry. I've been saving this for a while. This GFP has been spent to upgrade the natural weapons to cybernetics.
Oh,
that is
nice.
actually the reason for all of that blue on him. Every single bit of that is now a cutting implement.
Nice.
I'm going to swoop up behind them, put my talons up against their throats, and say, "You really want to call in an all clear?"
Okay, yeah. So you dive in, and they are going to. I'm gonna you dive in. You put your blades to them. I'm gonna give you. All right, I'm just gonna have you roll an intimidation. This is going to be an extreme positive because you are basically have them at a strong disadvantage. Though they are still on the station and they are still trained mercenaries, so there's a chance that they might decide to be heroes and try and call this shit in and fight you off.
This is more of a smooth talking sort of thing.
I'm going to say that you're putting a knife to their throats, so this would be intimidation.
Okay. Well, it's too bad I'm not very good at intimidating, because some people are getting their throats cut.
Oh, God. All right.
Okay, let's see how it goes.
I'm
this
going to
goes
say
off
that
of sense, yes?
Yeah,
Or
I am going to say that you're going to get a free slash element in on them as if you had lightning flash reflexes, just because you are holding them at a disadvantage if they do decide to fight.
Okay.
So it won't be for nothing.
What is the attribute to be using here?
This is going to be your brains plus your plus
my nothing.
Yeah. Oh God. Okay.
So I need a D6 here.
Yeah. 1d10 plus 1d6. Roll one, cowboy.
That could have been worse. That's a 13.
13. Okay. Well. Yeah. No. These guys are real big heroes. So as you get finished saying that, they look like they're about to load their weapons, and the one who had the mic active shouts, "Breach! Security!" And then you slice at it.
And then, for the record, what I do here is I actually flare out my wings and fly backwards, dragging the talons through their against their throats.
Okay.
So
yes.
I'm flying back to cover essentially.
Okay, fair enough. So I'm just gonna have you roll straight damage on both of them. For this one free attack.
Okay, doke. Let's see. So that's muscle times what is cybernetic weapons?
I believe it's a +6, I think.
+6. Okay.
Look it up real quick. I don't want to short.
Yeah, I don't have it unfortunately right here at the moment.
Hold on, I can pull it up.
Okay.
What are you looking for? Natural weapons or cybernetic weapons?
Cybernetic.
Cybernetic weapons?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's +6, but we will just quickly check.
Yeah. I know
Quickly
I have
fact
it.
check
so...
April.
Yeah, +6.
Okay, +6. So So in that case.
So it's going to be 10 damage then.
10 damage, not bad.
I only have 4 in muscle, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Okay, so 10 damage in total. That is.
I guess I could.
And if cold shots to the throats matter at all.
Here's the thing: they are wearing armor, so you don't you basically don't decapitate them, which is what you might have otherwise been able to do, but you do fuck them up pretty bad. like both of them get like huge gashes on their throats and
Going loud, boys.
Yeah. So now every roll initiative.
Woohoo! Time for the chaos and death to begin.
What we were hoping not to do.
So yeah.
Can we all roll initiative?
No, just the people in this one.
Okay, so that's agility plus
agility or hand eye, whichever is higher, plus your sorry, plus senses. Yeah, 2d10. Agility plus senses. Agility plus senses, or agility or hand eye plus senses plus any level of if you have like lightweight or anything like that, right? Armor penalties.
Nope. Okay, so agility plus sense is 13. 30.
Okay, you're definitely going first. So, Raph and your boys are going to go. I'll just roll one for time for both of them. So, the Mercs, then your boys.
Okay, so yeah, having taken my little flight back to whatever cover I could find behind me, I'm going to level a rifle, and I'm going to shoot them.
Okay, yeah, go for it. They do not have any cover, so...
Any specific place you're shooting them?
In the back, like a hero.
True hero mode.
The true hero coward.
Well, it's not my fault that they've got their backs to me right now. I suppose I could shoot them in the ass.
I'm going to start a timer for no particular reason, but...
Oh, no.
Okay, so
probably go
that is
out
going to
do that.
be... That is actually also going to be a 30.
Jesus, okay, yeah. He's going to try and stand... Yeah, you hit him for full damage. Yeah, okay, roll that damage for me.
Let's see, that's what, 3d6 on rifles?
Yes.
Or d6s?
3d6s, I believe.
Yeah. God damn it.
It's in type.
Do not shatter your glass everywhere.
No, that's just plastic.
I know.
Remember, kids, don't shatter glass all over your face.
Don't take a ball and smash it on your own face.
Well, depends on the ball.
Okay, that will be 14.
14. Jeez, okay, that is... So even with the minus... Yeah, okay. So one of them staggers and, like, falls to his knees as, your shot barrels straight into his back, punching through his armor and, doing some real nasty damage. He's not dead, but he's basically down.
Okay.
The other one is then going to... he's going to shoot at you. Your men are less of a concern to him.
Technically doesn't know that they're there.
Well, they did spot you, basically, but the thing is that you are currently more of an issue than the two people they're pretty sure they saw, versus the one person they know they saw, and definitely also just stabbed
Put a gash in his neck.
Yeah. So he turns around and takes a shot at you. Do you want to try and dodge this, get behind half cover, or do you want to, try something else?
Yeah, I mean, dodging using the cover.
Okay. Roll them, and I believe it's a +4 for half cover.
Okay. God damn. These dice might have to get retired.
These dice are broken as shit.
No, they really kind of are at the moment. Okay, so 23, 34!
Or not
Jesus.
bad, not bad at all. Let me just do the math real quick here. So that's 13 plus...
I'm so glad I drilled holes in these dice.
Man, that is so... Oh, man, that guy rolled so well, but it was not enough with that fucking ridiculous roll. So he barely misses you. Like, it hits the boxes that you just hid behind. They just ducked behind. And then your men open up, both of them on him. First we'll go with the rifleman. He misses. Then we go with the pistol man. He misses.
Let's see if I can't do a little bit better.
Yeah. So first, we see the ship, closing in as it races into the towards the other hangar, and the car is like the doorway in front of the car is lowered as you guys all pile into Red's car. And
It's really
over the
cramped
radio,
in
you
here.
hear Bob shout, "Yeah, you're going to be dropping in 3, 2, 1, go!" And there's a clang as you like basically slide into the hangar.
Oh.
You can see the 2 ships, and there are people already prepared. Like there are not a lot of like guards here, but you see like some like workers working on repairing the wall, and more guards start. Guards are obviously going to come pretty damn soon.
What is it?
I believe it's Jen from Winter's End.
Yeah. My dad decides now is the perfect time to vacuum. And I can't even mute the sound for the video recording, so I'm sorry, audience.
It's fine. All right, let's just keep going. Let's keep going. Yeah, it's now. It's the people who are just landing. What do? You got 1 turn before we move back to Frog.
All right, I'm gonna get the car ready for deployment. Who's gunning?
What do you mean?
What do you mean gunning?
We attached a gun.
I think that these 2 are both going to be busy throwing grenades.
Yeah, we're gonna be grenading because I can't.
But do you want to
shoot
cause
gun.
lethal damage?
Do I care?
Yes, your character does.
Like, fair enough. All right, then we're gonna get ready, and I guess I will start warming up one of my. Get ready to knock out every person in the thing with a mass sleep.
Okay, keep in mind that will affect the organic members of your own crew.
So me.
Luckily, 2 of the people in my car are apparently massive robots, and one of the people
only one
who's
of
going to
them's
be
a
knocked
massive
out.
robot. The other one's a tiny robot.
Right, and then the other one has a bunch of nanites that can do the same thing for him. So I think.
Okay, so let me just look at the size sleep thing real fast. Okay, size sleep. Do you want to use? Pretty sure there's a mass sleep.
It is. It's lower, I believe.
Yeah, and I'm just trying to find it real quick. No, I don't. Alright.
Yeah, that would hurt a lot if I.
Yeah. Psi panic, Psi fear, Psi sleep. Is there size mass sleep? I'm pretty sure.
There's just.
Yeah, there's a mass panic. There's
No,
mass
there's just-
fury. There's a mass overload.
There's a mass fear.
Yeah. Okay. So there isn't a mass sleep, but you can use a mass fear if you want to use that.
I thought there was a mass sleep.
Yeah, the only
thought there was.
size sleep there is.
I thought there was. I'm guessing I must have forgot that. I will probably add that before the next update.
Alright, sounds
which
good.
I know has already been delayed, but like, don't worry, it'll come soon. All right, yeah. So we'll probably do is we'll actually just treat this as the same way that for now we're going to pretend that there is mass sleep, and we're just going to use the same rules as site overload, just with the sleep rules instead of the damage rules.
Okay.
Because that's the way that most of the mass things work. Is that it hurts you more and it affects everybody, but it obviously has the advantage of hitting everybody. So how many side dice do you want to throw into this one?
I'm gonna throw all of them.
Okay, dokie. Roll me all of your side dice.
I'm so glad I can drive.
First off, I would like to point out that this is gonna be. This might be painful, but probably not.
Well, keep in mind, it will knock you out if you fuck up enough.
Oh, I know, but I took the psi thing that makes it so that I only get damaged on ones.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Well, here's the thing: you still take damage on everything when you're using any sort of overload power. Like that's the trade-off. Is that you affect everybody, but you also are affected by every dice you throw.
This is gonna take me a bit.
Well, anyway.
So 1d6 for each of your points in senses.
Okay, so Okay, I was reading the mass paralysis, not the psi overload. I'm gonna use 4.
Okay, fair enough.
So
Yeah.
half your dice.
Yeah, there's a mass sleep right now, so I'm just using the mass overload for now. But
Total of 10.
total of 10. Okay, so you will take 8 points of stun damage from the dice you threw, and all of them take total 10 stun damage minus their grits. So everybody is down by that. So everybody in the room has now. Oop.
How many EMP grenades did we bring along? Just
As many as we could.
Alright.
You have 3, I believe.
Okay.
How many ships are in the hangar?
There are 2.
Okay, that's
Yeah,
enough.
like these won't put them out forever or anything, but they should put them out long enough that for you guys to get in, get out.
Toss them in the engines.
Yeah. So
Yeah, sure.
All right.
You're up. I'll make myself a note.
Alright.
And
I'll let y'all know, by the way. I'm having. Wait. I don't personally have any GFP. Oh no, I do have GFP. Holy shit! Oh wow, nice. I'm gonna probably use that to throw.
Yeah, I'm gonna use one of my own to throw as well.
Yeah.
Just because this is a very important
Alright.
throw. What is the upgrade? How much
Yeah.
does it get up by 10?
What do you mean?
Like the upgrade
Oh.
of using GFP.
What's the bonus to using a GFP, April?
believe it's a +10 on the roll.
Oh, sweet.
So I was right.
Yes.
Always good. Ah, fuck! I dropped a dice. Oh, but it was a 10. Awesome.
Nice. Okay.
27.
27. That is a grenade that flies true.
Where's my fucking calculator? My calculator disappeared. That's weird.
What
Where
is
put
it?
it?
I
Oh,
can
damn
just
it.
put it into Google and I'll do it.
Yeah, someone
Yeah.
put a thing in. So it's 15 plus 7 plus 1.
Plus 1, that would be
Okay.
a 23.
23. And plus 10.
23.
So it's 33, actually.
Okay, yeah. Both those grenades are going to fly true and hit their respective targets, and the ships are shudder as they short out. However, it will be possible for them to come and repair them if you guys just leave right now and just wait for Defrog to run back, assuming it takes him longer than this.
Can I mount the turret to shoot the engines?
Yes, you can, but that'll be next turn. So
Yes.
for now, we move back to Defrog and his fighting action boys as they continue the combat.
Welcome to Fighting Action, boys.
Okay, more shooty bang.
All right, fire. You may fire well.
You may fire when ready. Okay, let's see. Oops.
It's so weird. I'm so confused. Why am I missing a calculator?
29.
29.
Oh my
okay.
god, it was right there the whole time.
And that's not a success. So you get to do damage again. Which will probably assuming you don't roll very poorly, should probably take care of
13.
13. That is just enough. Just enough. So yeah, he doesn't die again, but basically you've dropped both of them to negatives, and neither of them are dedicated enough to the cause to do anything more than just lay there and groan and clutch at their wounds after being dropped to negatives.
Let's go, boys. We're on the clock.
Yeah.
Booking it.
So yeah, you start running. The timer is still ticking down, but you have time. You have not heard. Well, You've heard some very distant explosions, but you have not heard. But they are very zappy explosions. You have not heard the explosions of grenades going off inside of another person's room.
That dull whoomp of, oh god, we're all fucked.
So as you start running down the corridors, the timer ticks down again, and as you approach the door, cutting back to the engine room, the guards are starting to come in now. At least 3 guards have entered the room, all armed with laser rifles, and all looking for a fight.
Oh, poor them.
All of you roll initiative, all of you in the car.
Alright. So
Initiative
that
is
is either
what set of
hand-eye
skills?
or agility.
Whatever is better, hand-eye or agility, plus your senses.
Oh boy.
Jeez Louise, I'm just dropping my dice everywhere.
That's 27. I'll put that in the chat.
Noise.
26.
Chitty bang bang.
Oh wait, plus the 3 from encumbrance. So yeah. 29.
Wait.
So the baddies rolled a 25.
I forgot encumbrance was a thing.
Oh, okay. Yeah, how encumbered are you?
I have a +3 to initiative, so I have a 30.
Okay, yeah, you got a 30. So in that case, yeah, Belil, you actually go ahead of winner then. The order is Kaufman, then Lucretia, and then the Mercs.
I have a 25, so.
Oh, okay. In that case, you then go. You at the same time as the Mercs.
Yep.
All right.
Chitty bang bang. Chitty boom.
Okay, so yeah, so in that case we start with Kaufman. Kaufman, I think you said you were going to try and blow up some engines.
I'm going to mount the gun and then shoot the engines of the things.
Ka-chunk, ka-chunk. Roll me your firing.
Rattle,
Guns
rattle, thunder,
plus,
kind of boom, boom, bang.
Guns plus hand-eye, eh? Alright. Oh, that was not a great roll, but...
I thought this one was based off of the weapons operation, since it's a mounted weapon.
Okay, yeah, actually you can probably do it. I think I have it as guns, but yeah, fuck it. You can use one. You can use either one. You can use either one.
I think mine's higher than the actual car.
Okay, that's fine.
Well, too bad it's a 16. So.
Okay, well,
Total.
yeah. So you spray shots. So it isn't that you miss because it's a giant ship engine. But what happens is basically you're aiming for weak points, and what happens is you just kind of like pink off the armor, which the ships obviously have heavy armor because they're spaceships.
Mm-hmm.
So your shots hit, but they don't do critical damage.
Yeah.
Because what I'm going to do is I'm not going to use the normal ship, like ground weapon versus ship rules, because this is more of a dramatic situation rather than you actually trying to fight an actual flying ship. So if you roll a success, what will happen is that will be you being able to do normal damage to the ship by hitting its weak points.
Nice.
As it is, boy, you've made such a dent.
Yes. Meanwhile, we move down to Winter. Lucretia, what does Lucretia do?
All right. Would I know if I EMP'd the doors, would they remain open or would they shut? Would I know that?
You have no idea.
Could I roll a
You
tech?
don't know. It could go either way.
Could I roll?
Tech.
Okay.
It's the Five Nights at Freddy's doors. They just open.
19.
When they have no power, they open up.
Yeah. When you run out of power, they just open up.
19 is not quite enough to know for sure, but you know. Okay, I'll say this. What you get with the 19 is that you know for certain that it will lock them in one position.
Thanks.
You better hope that those fail safe rather than fail deadly.
Yes.
All right. So first, I'm going to report to Raph that our side of the mission has begun because coordination is key.
Yeah.
Good. It's gotten a little loud over here.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
Then I don't really know what to do because I don't have a gun, and going out there is pretty much suicide.
Well,
I'm going to get
Red
ready.
has already hit them with psi power. So you have one last EMP grenade that could do enough stun damage to take out a few of these guys.
Forgot EMP still did stun to people.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, it's basically what it is an electrical grenade. It's not actually an EMP. It's like a giant electrical grenade that just happens to also have an EMP charge.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think I'll go with that because that is probably the most effective for now until we take damage.
Yeah, like these grenades.
I rolled 2 9s.
Like, you want to visualize these grenades? They are like
I have a hankering for some candy right now.
Oh, jeez. Okay, fair enough.
25.
Do you have the skill, by the way, Winter?
Yes. That's why I'm on this part of the mission.
Okay, good.
Yeah,
I'm just making sure. We'll get candy sometime soon, Will. But for now, Winter, you definitely succeed on that throw. Roll me damage.
I might just head down to the store and get some.
That's all. That's entirely fair.
What is the
Winter, roll me. I believe it's 2d10s. But look it up. It's either 2d10s or 3d10s. I think it's 2d10s.
For what?
For a grenade.
I can't spell.
Oh yeah, I think it might just be 1d or like 1d10 for. I don't know. Look at the thing and then see what the EMP damage is for the stun damage is for a grenade, a stun grenade.
Yeah, it helps if I can actually spell grenade.
Okay, that's a grenade. Grenade is 2d10 if stunned.
Yeah.
2d10 if stunned?
All right.
Okay. Yeah, if it wasn't stunned, it would be 2d12.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect.
This is just fine.
Cool.
Well, that's a 12.
12. Okay. Yeah,
Wait.
that's.
On 2d10.
Oh, that was the total of 2d10. I was like, you can't roll a 12 on a d10.
I rolled 2 6s. Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I rolled a 12 and a 13. What? Yeah.
I rolled a nat 20.
So actually, that actually succeeds. The initial guards who ran in, who had already been hit by the psi, we're gonna call that psi pacified for now until I actually come up with an actual ability for that. So the people who had already been hit by that have already been weakened, and that is enough to knock them out. So you've taken care of the first wave of people, though more will definitely be coming.
Yep.
Red, since there's a lull in the combat, what do you want to do?
I'm going to okay, so I've hit Lucretia
donuts in the
for
parking
10
lot.
some damage, right?
Yes. Lucretia's already taken 10 damage minus her grits. Stun damage.
Oh yeah.
Okay. So
10 minus her crits.
so
yeah.
Lucretia's probably fine.
Yeah, she's
Oh,
fine.
I forgot
for
that
right
I need to roll initiative for soft serve.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah, you should probably roll for saucer.
Yeah, only
she's combat capable now. I forgot.
Yeah.
Get her to close the doors.
Yeah, she only took 3 damage
That's
from
just
that,
real
so
terrible
yeah,
with
she
her.
still has a lot of stun HP left. If you need that.
All right, cool.
I rolled a 24 on my drive test to get the car.
Okay, so saucer will go last.
I'm going to move the car, keep moving the car towards down the line of ships, and also use it, keeping the thing in such a way that the broadsides and heavily armored sides of the car are in between wherever people might come out.
All right, so you're basically going to use the car's barricade against the door.
Yeah, I am also prepping Psi Shield, which has to be done as a reaction.
Okay. Yeah. So just so you know, while you can block the door, and the door is the primary where they can come in and out, there's also the big fucking hole in the side of the building that you guys kind of came in from before.
All right.
That's true, which is why I'm prepping Shield.
Fair enough. Okay, so yeah. Now we're going to move back to Defrog. Defrog, you are arriving just as you see the guards outside of the door, like getting ready. Like they, like one of them has actually like pulled a grenade from his belt.
Okay, I am going to pull a trick with Inventor.
Oh, okay, sweet, yeah.
Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the EMP grenade that I took along. I am going to take my med kit and cover it in medical adhesive, and then I'm going to pitch it into the center of them armed, spreading lovely glue and electricity everywhere.
Okay, roll mechanics to and brains to make that work. But,
Okie dokie.
Yeah.
Chitty chitty bang bang. Chin chitty. Chin chitty.
Brains. 10, 11 or better. Yes, 24.
24. Okay, yeah. So that succeeds. So you have made this grenade. Now roll demolitions plus hand eye to throw it. Yeah.
Yeah. Gonna go ahead and use a GFP on this one.
That's fair.
Probably didn't need to, but fuck it. Okay, so that is going to be... $33.
33. That is pretty goddamn good. So yeah, you love the grenade, and before they have a chance to react, they get hit with the EMP, which you're gonna roll damage for real quick, and also are basically glue trapped.
It's everywhere.
The grenade hand got glue trapped.
Oh, what was that?
Am I so lucky that the grenade hand got pinned to the wall by a glob of glue?
Yeah, I'm gonna say with how well you rolled on with the fact that you use your inventor skill for this, that you basically like glued his hand. Like specifically, the biggest effect of it is that he will not be able to throw the grenade.
Okie dokie. Let's see. What is the dice code for the grenades?
The dice code is 2d10s because they're stunned.
Okay. That will be a 13.
All right, not bad. So yeah, there are more than just the two initial guards. You cut me off before I could quite get that part out, but you do hit all of them. There are 4 of them there, and all of them get hit pretty fucking hard with that grenade.
Take them down, boys.
Yeah. So they are still standing, but they are woozy as hell. And so yeah, I'm going to let you guys have. You guys are going to roll initiative again to see who goes first in this combat, but you guys will all get a free round because of your invention.
Awesome. Okay, so big sheet, 8 GFP remaining.
Omae wa mo.
Daru.
Nani?
Nani?
Omae wa mo.
Okay, so Defrog is there, and then the Mercs. Okay, so the order of operations goes Raph, Boys, Mercs.
Talk to me about vertical space. What do we have?
This is a pretty narrow location. If you can get out of the hangar or back into the main room that you started in, you can fly. This corridor, not so much.
Okay, and as for any cover of any sort?
Not a lot. This is basically a pretty plain corridor.
Okay, do this the hard way then. Yeah, going ahead and shooting.
Okay. Fire at will. Daka 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 daka.
Pretty much. Frankly, if I thought it would help, I would shoot with both the rifle and the pistol. Like you said, it's pretty narrow.
Yeah, yeah.
Is that actually an option?
I do have two-handed weapons. I do fighting with 2 weapons. So fuck it. Yeah, go for it. You're gonna be a penalty, but yeah.
Okay, yeah. I will go ahead and hold my pistol, level them both forward, and just hold down on the triggers.
Okay, go for it.
That could be worse.
What do you get?
18 on the die. So let's see. Hand die is 7, guns is 5. That's what, 35?
Okay, yeah, and with their penalty from being glued, they are not going to be doing much dodging. So yeah, that's going to actually hit. Good thing you're a good shot.
He's a special operations soldier. He probably should be.
Yeah, no, that's entirely fair. So yeah, roll damage on the first dude.
Okay, 3d6. Okay. Again, could be better, 11.
11? Okay, and is that for both weapons?
No, that was for the rifle.
Okay, so 11 on the rifle.
And then for the pistol, which is AP for the record.
Oh, okay.
The pistol actually does one better. That was full damage.
Oh, shit.
12.
Okay, nice. Okay, yeah, that's one down. That is one very firmly down. In fact, that did so much damage, you almost straight killed him in one shot.
Oh boy.
Again, these guys are mercenaries, so they're not fighting like through the negatives, but you
Kill him in one hit.
Yeah, he very nearly
Critical
killed him
damage
anyway.
to a body part.
Technically,
and yeah,
got
that
hit
is
3 times. Once by the EMP, once by the pistol, and once by the rifle.
Yeah, actually, that's right. You actually did so much damage to him that he's going to permanently have a crippling injury. And because he didn't specify, it's going to be the body. So basically, you shot him so full of holes that he, like, even if he gets medical attention, is going to have basically his rib cage is powder, and he has a shredded lung.
You know what? Just for the fun of it, Raph is going to war cry for the Federation at this.
Okay, sweet. Yeah, that's actually pretty cool. Yeah, so your boys are actually super on board with that. Like they they're pretty on board with the Federation. So they join in with their own cries as they fire. And man, that was apparently very fucking inspiring because they just hit.
Fucking morale.
So
Morale is
boy.
the only thing that matters.
Oh man,
Morale
your boys
is
are
to the physical as 10 is to 1.
yeah. Jeez. Okay, so that's 9 plus 7. 11, 13.
Boys in the hood are
Okay, yeah, your boys take down the second merc, so there's only one merc remaining
Nice.
in the hallway. Though, of course, more could come unless your distraction team does their job right.
Of course.
Speaking of the distraction team, the counter is now gone. You literally got down to 1 tick on the counter, but
I don't know what that.
I'm
Yeah,
glad
that-
I wasn't cautious.
yeah, now more reinforcements are going to come until you can escape. But that's, of course, like, well, also you have to get the guy. But first, the distraction team. Speaking of trying to escape, people are, like mercs are pouring into the corridor that you guys have blocked off. So you guys are going to have full cover, but they are going to start trying to take shots at you. But first, you guys get to go first.
I am going to. What is it? I'm gonna decide to take out the engine.
Okay.
Use the GXP to actually help with.
Okay. Yeah, roll them, cowboy.
Oh, that was nice. Thank goodness. Today's been a really good day for everyone's rolls. Holy crap.
Fair enough.
Good timing for it, too.
And my stats. And I have a 3 in guns. Nice. That's 32.
32. Okay. So yeah, you are going to succeed with style and like hit those fucking engine cores. Roll damage. I
What's
believe
damage?
Did you guys mount a rifle?
It was a
equivalent?
harpoon.
Okay, it was a harpoon, right? So do you guys remember
yeah.
what the damage code on that is?
I
Like-
don't
I think that was a large weapon.
Okay, so in that case, roll me, I think, 4 d10s? Oh, sorry, 46. 46s, I think.
40 tens. All right, I'll do that.
I'm pretty sure it was 40 10s, but actually, hold on, large gun, here we go. Yeah, 46s, 46s. Massive gun would be 40 10s.
That would have been hilarious. Okay. Okay, so that's 2 1s, a 2, and a 5, so that's 9.
Okay, so you didn't blow up the ship, but that is more than enough damage to take out the engines.
Nice.
So one of their ships is crippled and will require massive repairs in order to actually become airborne again.
Good. Next turn, I'll do the same.
Yeah, Lucretia, there's one more ship, and there's that you are not armed on the mounted weapon, so you're not going to be able to blow it up.
Unless I get out of the car, but that would be suicide.
Yeah,
We're-
there
we're-
was field gun. Do you want to use the car's cover and start shooting?
I don't have a gun. I'm not a gun person. I'm a punch them in the face till they
Okay,
die person. So,
Okay, so do you want to cower then?
Graham
You
parked
could
by
run
the
back to the
entrance to the. That's an option. Graham, you parked like right next to the entrance, blocking it, right?
Yes.
Pretty much.
I could try to disable the doors to give
Okay.
us more options.
Yeah.
That's well. So I'll climb out of the car
Might as
and
well.
just shuffle in.
You should do it the same way you do surgery and just slash the door until it closes.
No, I'm actually gonna try to mechanically
to-
figure it out first.
Okay, yeah, roll them. Roll them.
That's a 23 on that knowledge
23.
of mechanic.
Yeah, you succeed. You have found a way you can seal the doors. Not forever, mind, but you can seal them.
Yeah, that works.
Now EMP it. Now EMP.
Well, I don't have an EMP, so I will cut all everything. And
Okay,
that
you
might
like
be a
slice
bad.
open
Yeah.
the panel.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can rewire it pretty easily. So yeah, you rewire the door and the two panels slide shut and lock. And because that actually has prevented them from being able to attack you this turn, they're going to have to find an alternate route. You're probably using that giant open wall. That means that Morath, your turn is free to do whatever you want to because there's no longer obvious targets.
Maybe you should get the guy.
You can either try and drive over to pick up Defrog and the extraction team, or you can prepare for more fighting. Your choice.
I would be...
Morath, it is your turn to do something.
Hello, can you hear me?
There we
Okay,
go.
we can hear you now.
All right, so I'm gonna do two things. First, I'm going to use Psi
That's not
Fear.
Raph, April.
Yeah.
That's Red.
Yeah, Red, sorry. God damn it.
I was
No,
I was thinking you were referring to...
Raph, the boys, and the mercs are the other combat.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So-
but you were just talking about Raph,
sorry.
whatever.
Sorry.
Everyone just wants to have more RAF in this game.
Red, Red.
Apparently.
God damn it. Red, Red, what are you doing?
I'm going to be keeping them off the door by using Psi
they're-
Panic.
They're probably you don't really have a line of sight on them anymore, and also they're probably going to be going around using the giant wall rather than the door.
I don't think I need line of sight for this particular power.
Are you going to try and you're trying to use mass panic?
Yeah, Psi Panic. After rolling, you roll the number of 5s and 6s and forces all opponents in range to make a fear test with that number.
Okay. Well,
Plus
that's
the
all
number of cyber
characters
attacks.
in range, but yeah, go for it.
It does say it does clarify.
It should be changed to all characters in range because the whole point of the big ones is that it's odd one.
Yeah. Oh right, because Psi Fear is one person.
Yeah.
All right.
Dum, 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 dum.
It is a size. It is a Fear 5 test.
Okay, everybody who is not mechanical within this range,
Oh,
including
God.
you, Red, has to make this test.
So,
Run towards the
Is
car.
it a
Run away
sense?
from the car.
Yeah.
how do you do a fear check? I don't remember.
It is your grits. It is a grits roll, 1d10 plus grits, trying to be a 9 minus 5.
All right. Five plus 7 is. Why can I not do math?
No. 5 minus, you remember minus 5. You're at minus 5, not plus 5.
No, I rolled a 5, and my grits is 7.
Okay, sorry. Roll them. You're
So it's a 12?
Which means it's a failure. It's a 7 altogether.
yeah, because of the minus. So, you panic.
Panic!
You panic. You are now too afraid to engage in combat, and you have to use your turn to escape if possible.
All right. Well,
Which, since I will also be speeding around at high velocities, also you can repeat that roll.
Yeah. You will try again next turn to try to break your
It'd be
panic.
funny as if this is the thing that leads to your character's death.
Yeah. Meanwhile, you hear at least some of the people on the other side screaming and running, though it doesn't sound like all of them were affected.
Yeah. And then I'm going to
Oh yeah,
drive...
you do take. You will be taking at least. Did you roll any 1s or 2s?
No.
Okay, then you take no damage. Okay, so.
Well, I don't take damage from 2s anymore. I did roll a 2.
Oh, okay. Okay, so just 1s. Okay, that's fair.
Yeah. And then I'm going to drive towards the. I'm going to play pickup.
Okay.
And,
so yeah, roll driving.
23.
23. That'll be enough. Yeah, you like ramp out of the hole and start driving. You will arrive at the others at the start of the next turn.
Right.
Meanwhile, though,
I'm going to go to the bathroom in the meantime. So.
Okay, the frog. You have reached the guide. The room door opens and you see the guy like quivering in fear at the back of the room. You recognize him from the video conference you had with him back on Big Z.
What was his name?
His name is. Let me just pull it up in my notes. Yes. CEO junior partner. Franklin Amstead.
Mr. Amstead, what a pleasure to meet you in person. Secure the package, boys.
Yeah, he starts to say something, but then your guys like walk in and like basically like strap cuffs on like.
By the way, if there are any emergency suits in this room, this being a space station, we're gonna stuff them into one.
Yeah, there's one. There's like an emergency, like basically there's an emergency bubble essentially. Like there's a in case of emergencies, pop into this. You can't really do anything, but you'll be safe.
Okay, yeah, we'll slap that on his back, and if necessary to toss him into space, we'll deploy it.
Yeah. So because again, like this is like retro sci-fi stuff. Like it's essentially like literally like a big ball of plastic wrap that you just shove him into.
Yeah.
As you start marching him out. As you go, you hear the sound of the car approaching. It will arrive at the end of the turn, but first you see some more mercenaries are coming, and they are going to try and take a shot at you. So what do you want to try and do?
Do we have rules for covering fire?
No, I don't believe so, but I am going to
fire into their faces.
Okay, yeah.
Hopefully they'll think differently.
Okay, yeah, fire it will.
And in that case, we're gonna keep the dude tucked back in the room until we can make a break for it.
Sounds good.
Okie dokie. So, this two-gun thing seemed to work pretty well last time. It might continue to do so. Let's see. Flat 30.
Flat 30? Yeah, that will probably hit. That will definitely hit.
Okay. Rifle says 13.
Okay. Ka-chunk.
Pistol says armor piercing 7.
That's one down. Your boys take some shots over your side. Fortunately, that inspiration seems to be fading. Only one of them hits.
Please tell me it was Rifleman.
It was Rifleman. I rolled them in order, so I know who hits with what. That's going to be enough to at least cause them to back down, though. Of the remaining mercs, only 2 show up initially, but one of the one guy, seeing you escaping with the package, pulls a grenade from his belt and pulls the pin and lobs it. He's unfortunately not skilled with grenades, so this is not necessarily likely to succeed. And surprise, surprise, it doesn't.
Oh god.
So yeah, the grenade flies, wide, bounces off a door. It doesn't bounce back into them or anything, but it kind of gets about halfway, then explodes with enough force to, rip through several walls and cause a lot of damage. The floor gives out a little bit underway, which is actually good for you guys because it means it's going to be harder for them to get through.
Yeah.
But yeah, you're safe. And at that point, the car, drives in, and you see you see Kaufman, you see Soft Serve, you see Red. You don't see Lucretia, but you do hear crying.
Well, ours is not the reason why. Let's move.
As you get in, Lucretia, I'm gonna have you make a roll just to see if you can break this panic. 1d10 plus crits.
If not, guess who's gonna use a stun gun to put you out?
8. You are still panicking.
Okay.
All right.
world is
Stun
ending.
gun, slapping hands.
Knock
Yeah,
him
you can use a stun gun.
out. All right. So, do I even have to roll to hit?
No, you just zap
Yeah.
or roll damage.
So that's a total of 6.
Would my armor
Take an additional 6 points of stun.
Would my-
No, because she's basically just like he's not attacking you. He's just like jabbing into exposed flesh.
Yeah.
Like-
Alright, so she's
like,
still
because-
up and standing. And panicking. And the world is
Again.
ending.
Wait till next turn, but
God damn it.
yeah, like so. Yeah, you're screaming. You're in pain. Like horrifying psychic tendrils have invaded your mind and caused you to relive your deepest fears. I know your friends are stabbing you with stun prods.
Well, mine is a big stun gun. It's not a stun
Oh, okay,
prod.
so
So I
your
basically
friends
just
are
shoved a gun in
shooting.
her.
Yeah, like it's standing over you, shooting you repeatedly with a stun gun.
Yeah, this is
Like
a
a
horror.
stun
Okay,
rifle.
Yeah, she is freaky.
So, if we're coming to like top of order, Raph is going to grab her by the collar, slap her, and say, "Lucretia, get a hold of yourself."
I'll let you take your roll now for that.
Alright.
And if not, I might knock you out with just a slap as is.
Yeah,
I still have
roll
7
slap.
stun.
Yeah.
Oh,
Well,
well,
Okay, I find
you're
No,
fine then.
Yeah, I'm up now.
Okay. Yeah. So
I
Lucretia,
rolled a
Here,
nine.
center.
you finally get your head back on your shoulders.
Bright slap for the win.
So much
Red,
death.
you're gonna have to make a driving test because there are people with grenades who are likely to try to blow up your car.
I mean, or fragmentation?
They are like small energy grenades.
Considering what they did to the structure, those are probably AP.
Yeah, they are painful. Like they are designed to blow up a human body with enough force to leave no traces.
I rolled double tens.
Jesus.
Okay.
Plus an
Yeah.
8 and a 4.
Yeah, these guys are not skilled with throwing grenades. So yeah, as you take off back to the wall, like the wall around you explodes in a like shower of molten metal. But you hit the ground and skid back towards the car without taking any damage to your vehicle.
Frankly, with a roll like that, I almost expected you to say the rear view mirror, the side view mirror just knocks it back into their laps. They were screaming.
Yeah, no, if they rolled badly enough on their grenade roll, then totally that would have happened. But no, like basically, you just like drive like action movie style out of the explosion without taking any damage, and slide into the ship, which closes and starts to take off. Bob over the radio calls over, "Welcome aboard, everybody.
Bob, disable those ships if practical, and get us out of here."
You got it, Captain." And there's a cha-chunk as the like laser batteries fire.
Plasma.
Yeah, sorry, the plasma turrets, slam into the remaining ship. It isn't enough to destroy, but it is enough to cripple it. And you guys, take off into space with your prisoner bound and gagged. And this is normally where I'd say, like, and that's the session, but it's not because we're going to do the finale. So this is the finale. So we're going to actually deal with what you guys actually want to do now that you are free and clear. As you take off into space and the, like the stars turn into lines around you as you jump. The prisoner is quickly escorted to one of the rooms and locked in since... Realistically, unless you guys decide to go to Atlas, he's not your friend. And even if you do, he's still the fucker who set you all up.
Yes.
So, fuck him either way. And now you have to make the decision, though, of what you actually want to do with him.
We have comms equipment that could reach Bigsy, yes?
Yes. You wouldn't be able to reach it right now, but you could easily get close enough without, like making yourselves obvious to talk to them.
Okay.
Well, we have our meeting room.
Yes, back into the meeting room. Well, people, I am somewhat disappointed in us. We did not take a trophy this time.
There's a light, nervous laughter as everyone's just.
However, mission accomplished with no casualties.
Woo! Some damn fine driving, some damn fine shooting.
Indeed. Atix, what were those numbers that you gave me for on the mission going down this well?
I believe it was only a 27% probability. It is extremely impressive what we accomplished.
And that's why this is the best damn mercenary corporation in the Verge.
Hell yeah! Woo! Clap.
Now, if you ask me, it's about time that we cleared our name.
Woo.
If you ask me, it's about time we cleared our name. We've got the man who we've been accused of killing. Now we just need to figure out a way to keep our skins intact as we drop him off. My thinking is, at the moment, that we go ahead, we record a message, broadcast it to Norseco, and we arrange a modest pickup fee.
Nice. Do you want to organize with does ATEX have anything to say about this? Does ATEX want to advise Raph on siding with Atlas, or is ATEX going to stay quiet and let this go?
I imagine that ATEX would stay quiet. This is for the reason that Oscar, really the one pulling the strings here.
Yeah.
Yes, we could do for Atlas by giving them, this dude. That's true. They would get an intelligence boon out of it. But the actual plan, which was discussed with Jester, which he would, make the argument with if they were, on a line together, is that the group needs to actually be able to move through space effectively. And while, yeah, you're losing out on any intelligence windfall from this relatively low-level guy, and maybe bloodying Norseco's nose a little bit, you're gaining the ability to go ahead and use us as a cat's paw. And
we could also
and bring back intel.
Yeah, we could also just debrief him.
There's that too.
Yeah, we can debrief him, send back the intelligence, and then turn him into the authorities.
Yes. And yeah, we probably will want to go ahead and do a little bit of enhanced interrogation.
So what you're saying is we're gonna wear tutus, flash the lights on and off, give him adrenaline, and
no, we're not gonna wear tutus. Raph looks far too good on a tutu.
Hey, so run that by me real fast again.
Okay, so Oscar's thinking is for the mercenary company to be an effective intelligence gathering group, they need to be able to move throughout space in the Verge. And if we could go ahead and give this dude to Atlas, and that would give them some intelligence bonus, some, going ahead and blooding the nose of Norseco, which is nice. It would also very much curtail our ability to operate in Norseco space. Instead of getting a one-time intelligence bonus, you are going ahead and getting a unit which can operate on both sides of the line and can be a intelligence pipeline to you, as well as whatever we're able to pull out of him when, Raph walks into the room, shuts off all recording devices, and turns into Oscar.
Fair enough.
So here's my other thing, right? They were also concerned about him being outed as an Atlas stooge.
Turncoat. Yeah.
Turncoat. Because that would make them take a harder scrutiny at their other employees. So what we should do is doctor a confession, and then promptly after said enhanced interrogation, shoot him in the head.
No, can't do that.
Red would not. But
Can't do that. We need to have him alive. if we're going to get back on Norseco's good side.
Yeah, delivering them a corpse would not exactly clear your name. Even
Actually,
like,
even better, if we put him in alive.
We didn't kill him. Here's a corpse.
Yeah, no, if we put him in alive, he is an intelligent source that is actually within Norseco, has a vested interest in us for rescuing him from Atlas, so he will come to us and speak to us and be able to give us an intelligence.
True.
And that is exactly the type of twisty shit that Oscar thinks in.
Fair enough.
Yeah. The only thing I'm worried about is him being discovered as an Atlas operative, because they would be looking at why he would blow up half of the thing.
Well, you can always claim it's a
Atlas agents kidnapped him.
Yeah, and faked his death in order to cover their trail.
Mm-hmm.
And put it on us.
Ah.
Because remember, you didn't originally get, taken by, people. You did originally get contacted by an Atlas, individual. So, it is a relatively easy, explanation to say that Atlas had set you guys up from the get-go. Of course, the downside to all this is unless you can somehow, sell this to Jester as a positive thing, he's not exactly going to be overly pleased, and that could spell trouble for either your wife or your ability to ever see your wife again.
To be fair, she's not the woman she's not the woman Red married.
So you're just going to burn all bridges with her then?
No, I think this would be a very hard decision for her to make, though. Because on one hand,
roleplay it. You're in the room. They're talking about. I'm explaining to you out of character, like this is the situation, and also this would be the ramifications for Red as a person. So you might want to roleplay out.
Here's the other part of it, though.
Yeah.
None of this can be, talked about in front of the rest of the crew. Oscar is dormant right now.
Yeah. I'm just explaining like why Red specifically, like not Oscar, but Red would probably have a reason to pipe up here and say, hey, wait a minute, we made a deal with that, like we if we get this guy to Atlas, maybe we could get a reward or something.
She's not doing that yet. She's seeing where the captain's going, but after that, she's going to step off and go look in on her patient, the comatose one that can't be a witness.
The cat?
Okay.
And
I'm
then
joking.
we
The
shoot
cat.
them.
Yeah. Okay. So basically,
but no, Raph is, very straightforward at this point. He's essentially saying, okay, we're going to try and make profit out of this. We're going to do our best to clear our names, and we're bringing this guy back as soon as we've got, that as a thing. In fact, we might go ahead and route it through the safe station. Where our dude who goes
Big
ahead
C.
and we're gonna get in contact not with Big Z, with what the hell is his name? Our intel broker friend.
yes,
Hammond.
the intel broker
Hammond,
man
sorry.
is Hammond.
Okay, my thought is we use him as the way to set that up.
All right.
Yeah. Being on
so
Outpost might be nice as well.
Unless Lucretia or Kaufman has anything they want to say against this, that sounds like I don't think there's going to be any argument from the rest of the crew about this plan.
No, this is.
Of course not. They're mercenaries. I just said we're going to get paid for this.
Yeah.
Getting paid and not being dead. So, Lucretia, Kaufman, is there anything you guys want to throw in opposed to this plan, or are you guys cool?
This is what Lucretia wants.
Problem with it.
Yeah. Okay. So in that case, Red, you are the only one who stands to actually substantially lose from this situation. What do you want to do?
I am going to ask for the captain from my medical bay.
Okay.
So I'm going to call up to the front intercom, or
Well,
whatever.
you were there in the meeting room initially, so you're probably going to ask him to step out with you back to the medical bay.
Captain, when you get a chance, would you mind coming in and looking in on our patient with me?
Yeah, I'm quite concerned about this.
Yeah.
All right, so you two, step out and walk to the. I'm assuming there's probably nothing else going to stand in the way of you two going to the medical bay to look in on the poor dear Linda.
And then they stab her.
And then they stab her 37 times in the chest.
You got
No.
the thinker for hands.
Yeah, so
Stubby.
she unfortunately doesn't have them anymore. What happened to her hands? Well, she cut them off and replaced them with cat's hands. And then I ate them.
Delicious.
I'm going to I'm going to look around. You know, as I get there, because I get there probably a minute or two ahead. And I'm going to. I don't think there's surveillance equipment in the med bay.
Probably
But
not.
if there is, it is going to be disabled.
All right, yeah. So yeah.
And then I re-enable it. No.
Yeah, oh god. So yeah, you disable all the security cameras. There's not like a lot. There's basically one that's just there to make sure that like nothing. So people can keep an eye on the med bay and the other parts of the ship for basic security reasons. But you turn that off, and you two are now in the med room together, except for the comatose woman.
Yeah. So.
So,
I.
how's Linda doing?
She's fine. Not actually the only thing I wanted to talk about. I mean, her condition isn't improved, and we're going to have to get her onto. Once we clear our name, it'll be easier for us to get her into a medical station where she can be properly dealt with. But
what
until
do you
then.
want to talk about, Red? I'll admit, you did well in that mission. You've gotten
Yeah.
back a lot of my trust for the previous visit to that station.
Previous visit to that station was re-engagement of my powers. It wasn't anything that I meant to do, but you know what the original deal here was, right?
The original deal.
And at that, Raph stops. And a somewhat more sleazy look comes over his face, and then he starts going and checking the room himself.
Yeah, Red's gonna reach over and press the quarantine protocols button to make sure that nobody comes in.
Can I send a message into there?
Sure.
Since
What do you?
Yeah, like-
obviously I'm hooked up into the computer. I
Yeah,
can-
that makes
Yeah.
sense.
What is
yeah,
going on in the medic bay?
Yeah, you notice that like the cameras have been turned off in the med bay. So you contact the med bay and ask that.
Just undergoing some privacy stuff, and we've gotten we've got an open patient. I didn't want anybody coming in.
What assortment of privacy?
Well, first off, the patient is naked, and second off, they're kind of open on the table.
Uh-huh.
I'm conducting surgery, and on a naked individual, so I turned off the security cameras and engaged quarantine protocols, so that I do not get interrupted during it.
I don't see that there's any issue with having the patient naked on a security camera.
Kaufman, doctors can be strange about how they like to do things.
Also, if I let you guys see how I work, you won't need me anymore.
I will set up a timer.
How very mercenary of you, Doctor. I believe we're rubbing off on you.
Somewhat.
Yeah, disable comms set up like a 15-minute timer to before disabling quarantine on that.
All right, so
The deal was to work alongside Atlas Intelligence
right.
to do what is mutually beneficial for the Federation and for the Atlas corporate state, and frankly, for civilization in the galaxy.
I'm with you there.
That is the only deal that matters to me.
Right, but if we don't patch this up, if we don't sell this right,
This
We-
is simplicity itself. This
I'm
is
listening.
going ahead and developing greater intelligence assets because in the field, an opportunity presented itself. Jasper may have wanted this man, but we can reinsert him as a continuing source of information that we can be the pipeline for, as well as working on both sides of the line if necessary. This will give us greater freedom of movement, a source within Norseco. The only thing that Jasper is going to lose out in total is going to be the fact that he doesn't get to wave this man going on his side in Norseco's face. And frankly, if he's a good spy master, that's probably the least of his concerns.
Fair enough. So we reinsert him, use him as an intelligence asset.
Yes.
We give him the we give Jasper the information he wants.
Mm-hmm.
And
with the promise of more in the future, which we can provide as a source. We just saved this man from the depredacious clutches of the Atlas menace. He will be grateful to us. He will bring us in for more missions.
So what you're saying is, what you're saying is, we are going to use him to give it. This is hilarious, and I don't know how you're going to sell it, but I want to be in the room.
No, you're not going to be in the room. For the simple reason that if he does go ahead and get annoyed at this, he might try and use your wife as leverage. With me, I have no reason to care.
So keep me out of the room so he doesn't use it as leverage to begin with.
Yes, Red. I'm protecting your wife.
All right. Well, if you don't mind, I think that if anything much longer than this will make people suspicious.
You're going to need to provide some actual scars there.
I kind of like hold up my I hold up my hand. Yeah, I hold up my hand. That's certifiably empty, but it's like actually with my psionic powers, I haven't left a scar on anyone yet.
Okay, then we'll just stay here for a little bit, and you're going to talk to Raph about whatever it is you think will go over well with him.
All right.
Be seeing you.
See ya.
So Raph emerges, and essentially he's primed to pick up the conversation at this point.
Yeah. So he was in the middle of a sentence, by the way.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I know. Atix would be able to scramble him a little bit.
Yeah. But look, we made an agreement about who got to drive the car.
And so you drove the car. Though I am concerned that you might knock yourself out in the field. We need to go ahead and get someone who can go ahead and pick up if, for whatever reason, you are rendered unconscious. Not as a primary, but in the case of emergencies.
I've been working on, I'm going to work with Kaufman some more to get a jack. By the way, surveillance equipment is back on, and things are depressurized, and I look like I'm doing my mind thing over a body.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so...
Is that it, Red?
No. The state of the thing is currently in need of some rebuffing. But I was wondering, since it is now a community asset, apparently, if we could use
you think that Atlas was going to go ahead and respect your propertyship rights on that thing?
No.
I mean, I am sorry about what happened to it, but...
No, I was wondering...
We got out of Atlas alive in the first place, and all we got was a brand new harpoon gun for our troubles.
And a really bad paint job. A really bad
paint job. You
job.
Liked painting the car.
That's fair. Look, no, I was asking if some of the funds that we usually get could be reallocated for some armor repair on the vehicle that we would usually throw towards repairs.
Tell you what, we'll consider it when I start working up the budget. If nothing else, I'll go ahead and send some of the boys your way, so you can go ahead and direct them and expedite repairs. Okay.
Sounds good. Thank you very much for the talk.
All
Also,
right, anything else?
yeah. So our other patient, the one that had their brain scooped out
Right.
by a scav, I was able to stabilize her, but she's in way more dire straits. I'd like to take her into a clinic on Big Z as soon as we land.
Assuming that we can. I'm not trusting Norse code just yet. We're going to be returning to what the hell's the name
Or
of the
not
station?
Big Z. I think
Outpost
Big Z
19.
is the name of the station.
I'm sorry, what was that?
Outpost 19 is the station.
Yeah, Outpost 19.
Okay, so yeah, on
Okay,
Outpost
look,
19.
You might want to actually go ahead and flick. Talking personal here. Go ahead and knock the surveillance again.
I'm gonna tug it.
Okay. Look. I know Atlas has got your wife. How you holding up on that?
I'm not pleased about it.
Atix tells me she's actually working with them.
Yeah, she's looking at weird biomechanical augmentations that have been coming out.
Right, the craft builds.
Yeah.
Did
Other
you
than
think that
that-
she was capable of something like that? Working with those monsters?
She's Federation, and they seem to be very, her family was hit pretty
He puts
hard.
a hand on his chest. I'm Federation, Red.
Yes, but you also were working class. You didn't exactly have.
I grew up mid class. I'm a shaman. We fight. It's what we do.
Fair enough.
Call of Duty?
But-
Answer it.
But as far as working with the monsters, she found a problem that's looking to exist, and she was sold on it properly. I'm not saying it's the best thing. What?
Buy that?
I saw the bodies myself.
Oh, yeah, no, Atix showed me images. I get that. And it's horrific. It's terrifying. I'm glad that Atlas found out about it. But what they're doing to them?
Autopsies?
Please tell me
No,
not that. Vivisections.
Oh, well, yeah. Vivisections,
They are
I mean,
taking
these...
a conscious, sentient individual, and they are cutting them open to study them.
Most of them shown signs of battle death, as far as I knew.
Okay,
But
so
I
you
was-
go ahead and you shoot them dead on the battlefield, or you take them prisoner of war. Kaufman was worried about me going ahead and killing people on that assault. I didn't kill a single person. Maybe they died after I left. But I didn't go ahead and put a blast in their head. And I certainly didn't stay there and carve them up with my... He goes ahead and wiggles his talons.
Yeah, look, what I'm saying is a lot of the bodies that I had seen were ones that were killed in battle. I didn't know there were others.
Look, he pulls out a data pack that has Atix beam images to it. That was not killed in battle.
No, medicine roll here.
Yeah, roll medicine.
Yeah, so that is a 29.
It's hard to tell from a photograph, but you think that, yeah, this thing probably got cut open pre-mortem. Like, there was definitely battle damage here, but it doesn't look like it alone would have been lethal. No, of course, it's possible that he killed it with a...
He flips to another photo. That right there? Yeah, that'd be a lethal wound on someone who didn't have these cybernetics.
Yeah, like, the thing is with these photographs, just because of the fact that, again, they are photographs, it's entirely possible, because you don't have enough information, that these people were killed with basically a surgical, like a surgical execution before the autopsy happened, but it's very clear that these people were prisoners, then died, then, were cut open, not necessarily in that order. But you can't tell for certain that they were. It's entirely possible that they were just taken prisoner, then killed in such a way as to avoid tissue, like the maximum amount of tissue damage, so they get the freshest possible bodies.
And then, he shuts off the data pad and motions over to Linda. Not to mention what happened to Linda here before we met her. What happened to the rest of the crew, nearly.
Fair enough. Look, I'm not saying... I don't know how this is holding out, but apparently she's staying there of her own free will.
Yeah,
I don't know exactly how to take that, but...
I suggest you figure it out real fucking quick.
Like, we were together for 8 years.
Yeah, I know. How long has it been since then?
3.
That can be a lot of time, but don't let what you had before blind you to what she is now.
I know. But I want to say, as far as I know, she's completely unaware of half the way that she gets the bodies. And let's be fair, she was always naive in that way.
He pokes at it, vivisection.
There are other scientists. They might not necessarily all have been killed by her, but yeah, like...
Yeah, but this is the only one that Raph knows for certain.
Oh yeah, no, like here's the thing. What I want to emphasize here is that like before like Graham, you think that sorry, Martha, you think that like this is definite like definitive evidence or anything, like this is circumstantial. It is damning circumstantial evidence, but it is still circumstantial evidence. Like there is no proof that Rosemary was responsible for Primrose. Sorry, that Primrose is responsible for any of these things. However, all right, we'll do Bleel. However, there is no there's no evidence that Primrose. There's no definitive proof that these bodies were vivisected. There's no definitive proof that Primrose was involved in any sort of in any of the shadier sides of it. However, there's a lot of evidence that she might have been. There is a distinctive chance that she was involved in this stuff, but it is not definite. It is entirely possible that she has been essentially just put in a position where she is given bodies, told these died in battle, cut them up and find out what has been done to them.
Yeah. Look, right now, Captain, I just need something to fight for. So right now, I've got a wife that I believe, even though she's there on her own volition, is still worth me trying to get her out of that situation. Once I find something else that will keep me moving, that's a thing. But until then, I need something to keep me waking up in the morning.
I understand. Just know that I'm probably not going to be able to authorize another incursion into Atlas space again.
I hear you.
We got out of that one by the thinnest of eggshells.
True. If I ever decide to get her out, I'll, probably ask for some assistance, but I won't expect an entire...
By the way, I might have a new surgical project for you soon.
Keep me posted.
Will do. Still working up the specs exactly right, and I need to get some volunteers for it. But it might be something exciting soon.
And
I'm going to go off and talk to some of the more motivated boys.
Excellent. Yeah, we will not be getting into that too much right now, just because we're wrapping up this arc. But that'll probably be something that's going to become.
I'm just saying, personal goal right there.
Oh yeah, no, absolutely. So Lucretia and Kaufman is currently Lil is currently out getting a little bit of food. So we'll wait for her for right now. But DeFrog, you fly back to you were the ship back to Atlas 19, and there you're able to meet with your contact. We're gonna breeze over that just for a little bit because I want to get back to a point where everyone's able to actually engage.
Yay.
But yeah,
we could probably do that just over comms in general.
Yeah. But basically, what happens is you guys get to him and give him the information that you had managed to secure, and he has a chance to verify it and is ecstatic.
Oh, by the way, the other thing that is going to happen is, for one reason or another, Raph is going to walk into the cell with the man and do another surveillance blackout.
Okay, fair enough.
And yeah, he's pretty much going to go ahead and run down the whole. This is the setup. Oscar is going to do this. This is the setup. This is how this is going to work. You can either do this, or you're going to die painfully, either under Atlas or under Norseco.
Yeah, he realizes how like precarious the situation is.
Oh, and he's also going to be reporting to the Federation.
Yeah, he basically nods and is like too scared to actually say anything else. It's just like, okay, yeah, sure, whatever you say. You know, just
remember, you need work done, you call us.
Of course.
Or any interesting news.
Right. Yeah. You just just make sure to sell this story well when you get me back to Norseco.
Of course. We just saved you from the clutches of Atlas. Aren't you the luckiest little boy?
Yeah, of course. So yeah, a couple of days later, after the information is verified. Okay. Sweet. Yeah, so actually that's good because I wanted to get you two involved in some stuff, Lil. So yeah, like once the information is verified, you get the payout, which accounts for 7 GFP for each of the crew members.
Yay!
These are the cast members. And you were able to arrange.
You mean resource points?
Yeah, resource points.
I gotta.
I'm gonna put 3 in. I've gotten to 10 in the community pool, by the way.
Okay. Right. So then so basically after a little bit
I get 1 from that.
Geez.
Yeah.
You have several money. What was it you need to buy?
No, nothing. I already.
You already got everything you wanted. Okay,
I purchased the emotion core thing.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Yeah. Now I have 0 resources. I went in the hole by 1, so.
Jeez. Fair enough. So in that case,
that adapted flaw is a definitely is a flaw.
It's a flaw.
Yeah. It's a heavy one.
Yeah. It's almost like it's a it's one of the
defining flaw?
Yeah, it's a bad one. It's a defining flaw. It's the 2-pointer. The 1-pointer is where you just lose like half, and you only get you start out losing, like you lose 1 from every job.
It's a major flaw, not a defining.
Yeah, so major flaw. There's no defining flaws. But the point is, yeah, you get the thing, and you get in touch with Norseco and a Norseco representative, like a Norseco team, essentially, like an extraction team. Meets on the Outpost 19, and when they do so, they ask to meet with you, and they ask to meet with you in a safe place, like in a place where like Outpost 19 security will ensure that there's no, foul play.
Mm-hmm.
And they want to meet with you because apparently, someone at Norseco has, wants to have a word with you after they confirm that this person is still alive, and get them back into their custody.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. So assuming you guys want to agree to this meeting, because if you don't, then
Yeah.
for them.
Yay, let's get back to no.
Yeah, obviously.
Yeah, fuck that.
Yeah, fuck this noise. Okay, now so just need to look up a name real fast because there's an important name.
Ooh.
Barack
I need to know.
Hussein
Obama. Yeah, no. Yeah, so you meet up with these guys. They there's this you meet with these the representatives. They make sure that everything is all well and good. Here we are. Here he is. And then after the exchange is made, they bring out essentially like a long range communication device, and they set it up, and the screen flickers, and there's a generic Norseco signal thing, and it actually sits on that for a little while, and the guy running just explains apologies for the inconvenience, but you didn't want the individual who wants to speak with you is a bit busy and doesn't have time to personally sit by the line waiting for this meeting to occur. After a couple of minutes, the screen opens up and you see a middle-aged woman sitting behind a desk and looking at you, like judgingly. And she says, "So these are this is the mercenary organization that was framed for the recent assassination attempt."
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
I would say that was more of a kidnapping job, but
Yes, well, simply how we had been told. It appeared to be an assassination, though I do have to thank you for getting our man back. It was a blow to the entire Norsco family to, lose such a such a promising junior member.
Well, being frank, you didn't give us much choice in the matter.
Indeed, we apologize for the inconvenience. I'm sure that, there's been. I'm sure that you are aware of the difficult situation we were put in, though. I would also like to extend from the entire Norsco board our most sincere apologies, and we would like to offer you a small token of our sincere, sorrow at your disadvantageous position.
Very generous of you.
Yeah, they basically they like one of the guys opens up the briefcase and shows you there's like a coupon for Norsco to pay for all the repairs for your ship, for your car, and for all of your crew members.
Oh, woohoo.
Yeah, basically covering all the damages from this adventure.
Yeah. How are the victims of the bombing recovering?
She, kind of like shrugs a little bit and says, "There were the only member of the Norsco family who was, the Norsco Norse Corporation, who was affected was this junior member. I believe a few staff and a couple of guests of little importance were caught in the explosion, but fortunately they do not appear to have been particularly important."
All right.
And she folds her hands and says, "However, while Norsco is of course deeply sorry for the inconvenience, we do still wonder at the situation. It is, after all, a difficult thing to imagine Atlas, being responsible for, taking such a direct action against us. They tend to keep to their own space in non-commercial matters." It would be.
I can't speak to that. Only that Atlas has had their fingerprints all over this. Not to mention that they are expanding out into another system with a station that we have knocked on the door of a couple of times. I think you may be looking at a new phase in the relationship between Norsco and the Atlas corporate side.
I believe Morat is dropped. Fine. It says that is troubling to consider. Your situation is a troublesome one for us at Norsco. However, we believe we might have a means of, we are deeply grateful for you having, taken care of our problem for us. And so we would like to propose a situation in which we could continue to work together and strengthen these bonds of friendship that have been developing in a way that would be mutually beneficial to both your burgeoning mercenary organization and our interests.
I am, of course, listening.
She opens up a folder, and the screen actually cuts out and then reopens on a picture of what looks like a robot. Looks like a robot wearing a trench coat and a fedora and surrounded, it's a picture from far away, surrounded by a group of Chirons and humans. It says, "Are you aware of the Are you aware of the Maltese Mafia?"
Let's see. Would I likely be?
Anyone who's from Northcote, definitely. Anyone from the Federation, maybe
And I
not so
rolled
much.
knowledge.
Yes. I don't think yeah, no one here is actually from Big C, so
Yeah.
everybody rolled knowledge plus.
Okay.
Holy shit, 2 10s?
Can I roll?
Fuck, yeah, you were going to get a full
streetwise?
history lesson. Not that you need one, but.
Would it be streetwise or knowledge?
This is knowledge because this is more a historical thing.
Okay.
Once you're down on.
Wait, it's
Big
plus
C-
brains, right?
Yeah, plus brain.
Am I hooked up into the ship?
No, at this point you're.
Okay. Even then, that's still a plus 13 to that.
Yeah,
So that's a 36.
Damn.
Yeah.
That's a 36.
Okay, you know all about them. In fact, Balil, you know so much about them that you literally have all of the information that you yourself have written about the Maltese Mafia.
I believe I remember some about the briefings.
Yeah.
13.
Morath. Sorry. Yeah, Morath.
I rolled I rolled a 14, so that's a total of 26.
Okay, and Winter.
Oh yeah, 13 plus 5 is a number.
18.
18. Not quite enough. So you'd be the one person who doesn't know, but that actually makes sense because you're from the frontier, and so would have
You're
the
a scam.
yeah, you would have the least reason to know anything about the Maltese Mafia.
Yeah.
Okay, so what you guys know, yeah, like all of you except for Balil, who has a full and complete history of the Mafia and their
Their origins, their founder.
Yeah, the rest of you, what you guys would know is the basics, which is that prior to not the fall of the Federation, but like the retreat out of the Mid-Rim, the Big Z had been had been something of a trading hub, but was not really this big political power in the Rim. That started to change with the rise of the Maltese Mafia under a former private investigator named Laura Maltese. Laura didn't bring brought the Mafia into prominence, but it was, I don't actually remember what her relation is. Is she Scarlett's mother or grandmother?
She's Scarlett's mother.
Okay, so it was her daughter Scarlett who really took the Mafia off in a big way. Under Scarlett, the Maltese Mafia, it's not even really like that it's not even accurate to say that they are to Big Z what Northco is now to Big Z, because Big Z is just the strongest corporation in the corporate council that runs Big Z. The Maltese Mafia under Scarlett Maltese ran Big Z as a governing body, essentially. Like they had the corporate council eating out of their hand.
So they're essentially equivalent to the Atlas corporate state, but for Big Z, and they fault.
Yes, they at one point had been to Big Z and its surrounding system and its surrounding planets and moons and all that. What Atlas is to the Atlas system. What happened was that, and she lived for a very long time. Like she had enough treatments to kind of keep going for quite a while. But shortly after the Mid-Rim fell into anarchy and the Federation retreated, a revolution led by the corporate council overthrew the Maltese Mafia, and that revolution marked the rise, pretty much out of nowhere, of Northco. Like Northco went from being nothing to being the power in Big Z, largely due to their role in the overthrow of the Maltese Mafia. So it's a super important thing to them. In fact, prior to that, the corporate council had been led by Hipshot, the gun manufacturer, and bad blood between Hipshot and Northco stems largely from that revolution, which completely threw off the power dynamics. After the fall of Scarlet and the end of the Maltese Mafia's main role, they kind of went underground. Like they didn't die off completely, but with the death of Scarlet and the vanishing of all the major members of the Mafia, they pretty much stopped being anything more than a gang. And with the corporate states, the various members of the corporate council, running most of the gang activity, the Maltese Mafia kind of really, really fell underground. It still exists, but not in a way that it should really be much of a concern to anybody.
Yeah. Okay, so I've read some threat briefings on them, but I was under the impression that they weren't a really relevant factor at the moment.
I know everything.
Yes, you know all about the unit, about Scarlet's inner circle, you know about the life and times of Laura and Scarlet.
I'm going to go ahead and have Atix message over to Kaufman to work up a briefing package.
Yeah, actually, Kaufman, you know so goddamn much that you actually suddenly start making connections about that one woman you met recently. But yeah, so you start like right through all this, but the woman who you're meeting with says, well, this yes, the Maltese Mafia has not been much of a concern to anyone for quite a while now. However, over the last couple of years, a figure has emerged as the head of this of the organization, a self-proclaimed Dawn to the Dawn is a successor to Scarlet. His name is Ray Maltese, and despite the name, he is not a bloodline descendant, but this robot.
It's a nice looking robot.
Support. Yeah, it's an old robot, but it's snazzily dressed, and
Lucretia appreciates old technology because that's all she pretty much knew for a long time. So
that's very this is a snazzy robot. You like this robot? It's shiny.
Yeah.
But yeah, so the but the North Dakota representative says there has been a growing populist movement in the underclasses of Big Z. As much as the corporate council has been able to direct most of that sort of discontent, the Maltese Mafia under this Ray Maltese seem to be, gathering a lot of that support and aiming it in a far more destructive and anarchic direction. This is, of course, bad for Big Z, bad for the corporate council, and bad for the Mid-Rim in general, as the destabilization of Norsco would have, well, not even just Norsco, the corporate council and of Big Z as an economic power would throw the region into disarray. It would leave an opening for Atlas to corner the market and could potentially lead to, well, anarchy.
And we can't have that.
It would be extremely problematic for us. So, as you've already demonstrated yourselves to be exceptionally talented at being able to survive in situations that most would not be able to, and seeing as how we have already developed something of a working relationship, Norsco is willing to offer a substantial bounty for Ray Maltese, exclusively offered to you. No competition from the mercenary union, no outside interference from us.
No pride.
Just you and this, your target.
Is this an assassination or a kidnapping?
We don't care how you take care of this problem. Kill him, bring him into us. It doesn't really matter. He's a figurehead, not a political leader. Removing him will not create a martyr. It will merely create a vacuum that will be filled by our agitators.
But if we bring him in, he can be repurposed.
He could be repurposed. If you kill him, it will simply create a vacuum. Either way, it is a victory for Norsco.
And profit for us.
We all win.
I do so love when those situations come up. Send over the contract and any intel, and we'll have our answer for you shortly.
Excellent. It has been a distinct pleasure being able to deal with you. We look forward to hearing back from you in the future. And the line cuts out. And the representatives take your honored guest and return him to the shuttle to bring him back to Norsco.
I do not like this job.
Nor do I really.
It sounds like a trap.
There's no good jobs out here.
I mean, that's fair.
We are a mercenary company.
Personally, I am against the idea that we remove his agency as a being.
Yeah, Saucer walks up next to Kaufman and says, I agree with Kaufman. I believe that this is morally unjustified, destroying or reprogramming a machine, especially for the sake of people who have tried to murder us.
Raph just laughs bitterly. You can't blame them for that. That's just business.
Business or not, it's still morally reprehensible.
Raph just looks over at Kaufman. He will say that about all forms of being a mercenary, and yet here we are. I'm not saying I like it. In fact, there's a lot I don't like about it.
I would much prefer if we found a way to remove him from power without killing or removing his agency.
It might be possible to simply kidnap him, claim that he has died, and merely relocate him to a safer position.
I agree. Thank you, honey.
It is a distinct pleasure to be. Sorry, I used that. It is a great pleasure to be helpful, Kaufman.
Well, it would fulfill the terms.
It would.
I'll have to look at the terms that she verbally gave to us. I'll have to take a look over the contract, make sure that that's not going to bite us.
Of course.
But the good thing about this is that it is in fact a bounty. If we don't do it, it's going to harm our standing with Norsco, but we won't be in default.
I do know that is massive weapon, right?
Yes.
I suggest that if we were to kidnap him, we offer that in exchange for his relocation, we take his weapon so that we can show it as proof of his, using quotation marks, death.
Weapon?
Weapon?
He is heavily armed. He has.
No, that was specifically to Kaufman.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes,
Okay.
So
I'm
Kaufman,
not sure if you got the message from Atix, but work up a briefing packet. You obviously seem to have more on this.
Yeah. So Kaufman, through your records, you pull up a the weapon, which was somewhat modeled after Scarlett's old gun.
It's her old gun, Black Tuesday.
No, it's not the same gun. Like he has a.
No, it's modeled after the gun, Black Tuesday.
It's modeled after Black Tuesday. You know this one as the Hellfire Gatling gun. It is a massive, weapon that fires burning rounds.
If it was
Smells
easy,
like
they wouldn't
trap.
have us do it. No, not a trap.
Just
Just a
sending in.
job that they want to send an expendable asset after.
Atex Atex privately is making notes about the fact that this would be a step in putting a foot in the door in Norsco.
Yes.
And if he wanted to learn more about them, this would be the best possible way of doing so.
Okay. All right, everyone. Liberty on station. I'm going to go ahead and look over what we've got. We'll have another crew meeting with all department heads as soon as Liberty's done, and we'll decide exactly where we're going from there. My current inclination is to go ahead and take up Norsco on their offer, conditionally that we can do it in a way that, one, we're going to be able to do it, And 2, he sighs. We can all feel good afterwards.
Yes.
That is fair.
Thank you
Yeah.
for your consideration.
You're welcome, Kaufman. If we can't do that, well, it's a big old rim with a lot of people who need guns and people who can use those guns.
Okay, so yeah, as the curtain starts to close, because like basically I'm going to have the next arc will begin with you guys, actually having a choice as to whether or not you want to take this job. I don't want to like lock you into it at the end of this arc and then be like, next arc, well, you don't get the fucking choice anymore. You already took the contract.
Oh yeah, that was the point of that speech.
Yeah. So basically, what's going to happen is there's going to be about a week of downtime in universe, possibly longer, in which you guys will have the chance to rest, relax, recover all injuries, repair all damages. Obviously, with on Norsco's dime. Getting upgrades or repairs or whatever else you want to do, having little personal goal changes and stuff. Meanwhile, as far as your actual resources go, or not your resources, your XP goes, if you guys, I'm just gonna give you all 2 GFP for the session, and because this is the end, you actually have finally completed the job. How many sessions have we been doing this for? I think this is 7, 8, 7, I think.
I can check
Something like
real
that.
quick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was actually 30.
It's 30 sessions. It won't be in the video. It won't be in the videos because the videos were broken up into multiple parts. But I think it was. I think we had 7 sessions overall, and the first one was technically its own job. So, by the way, were you remembering to put down 1 GFP every session for the ship?
I have been. I'm pretty sure.
All right, good.
Yeah.
So
I
because you
spent
finished
a
the
lot
job,
of it. Yeah.
everybody who was involved in the job gets 6 GFP for having completed the job. The ship gets 6 GFP for having finished the job. All of your sidekicks and partners get 6 GFP for having finished the job.
That's a lot.
Yeah. Finishing a job gets a big payout.
Yeah, soft serve now has 9 GFP.
Jeez.
Yes.
And I have
takes us friggin'
I have
14.
10.
So yeah, now you between this arc and the next arc, you guys get to spend that GFP however you want because you have the justification of having downtime to get any upgrades and any changes you want. That is just GFP based. You can also upgrade the ship in any way you want because again, you have this time that you have nothing to do but hang out, relax, and like get your get shit.
Theoretically, I could just purchase off Depted.
Yeah, you can. You can totally do that. You can basically be like, during this time off, you spend that time, removing your debt.
Are we recording still?
Yes.
Yes, this is we're wrapping. Well, it should be.
Wrapping up.
Yeah, we are.
Yeah.
Okay.
I hope we are. Oh God.
Yeah,
It's been going on for 2 hours. 30 minutes. Yeah.
But if it wasn't recording for 2 hours, oh boy.
Yeah.
So you
Oh
get
man,
to,
that would suck.
Oh Jesus. Yeah. No.
So
So,
many
you get
good
to,
rolls wasted.
Oh Lord.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So you'll have your.
We'll
you
just have to
bunch-
reenact all of it.
Oh yeah. By the way, Blue, if you want to buy off Dead now, you can keep
just
all
did.
the. All right, then you can keep all the all the resource points that you would have lost because of Deaded.
Oh really?
Yeah, I'm just going to say that because at the end of this is all happening in one session. That basically before you would have had to pay your debtors, you buy off the thing. You make a deal with your debtors and get.
So now I have 5 resource points.
Yeah, so you'll have some more resource points. Yeah, so anyone who wants to spend their points, you can do it between now and the next arc. Anyone who wants to upgrade anything, now and the next arc. Ship,
Okay, cool.
all that stuff.
I've already thought of what I want my personal fault to be. So
Yeah, Brad. Yeah, this is also really good. Obviously, you can change your personal goals and personal arcs and all that. Flaws and all that in between in between sessions. But this would be the perfect time to reorient your personal goals and your personal faults. Now that you are in have this downtime and so much has changed about your lives, and all of this will be leading up to a sequel game or a continuation game because it is same character, same situation. It's basically just there's going to be a break because next week we are finally starting up with Star Wars D6 and Major 3, and we will return to the universe of Rag-a-Muffins and continue with our characters and their adventures, either on Big Z hunting for Rey Maltese or doing anything else if they decide that, like, between in the next couple of months, they want to do something different. But till then, thank you all for joining us. Please support the show and this game.
Please support the official release.
On the Patreon, the link is down in the description. And again, for even $1, you will get a copy of this book. It is a great deal. It is like a $300-page book. I am hungry.
This is a $300 deal.
It's a $300 deal. No, if you paid $1 for every page, it would be like it'd be a $299 savings. No. Yeah. But yeah, thanks to you all for watching. We hope you stick around for the next games. They are going to be fucking fun. Until then, next time.